Hello friends! So this is Amanda from the Private Attic, and today we'll be doing a flip through of the Classic Planner, which is an entire digital planner that is done on the new Pages app that I have introduced in the previous video. Alright, so let's get started. In terms of the general features of this planner, there will be a total of 35 page templates, and you will be able to find planning pages, trackers, reviews, and other exciting templates inside here. Alright, so because this app that we are using is the Pages app, and it's available on all Apple devices, so you will be able to sync and edit this between your MacBook, your iPad, and your iPhone seamlessly using iCloud. Okay, and for those Windows and Android users, you can use iCloud Web to edit it, but for Android devices, you won't be able to edit it on the web. Alright, so let's do a general flip through of what you will receive when you purchase this Classic Planner. Okay, so in terms of setting up the planner, when you actually purchase it from Etsy, right, you will receive a Pages file with different page templates, and this is the view that you will see when you're inside the Pages app. Okay, so I recommend you to look through all of the Pages templates before starting so that you can have a general gist of what is included and what type of page templates would you want to use more often. Okay, as you can see here, I've also preloaded some of the different pages that you can expect. So these pages are most likely going to be used once only, but they are also available as templates inside. Okay, so the general guideline for this planner is that you will want to plan as you go, and you want to plan it in a chronological order so that at the end of the year, when you print this out, you will be able to see your life in a very nice sequence flow of events, and they will follow like that entire the dates of that year. Alright, so for Apple Pencil user, make sure that you turn on the select and scroll function so that it's easier for you to navigate in the document. Okay, and if you don't want your text to be checked for spelling, you can also turn it off. Okay, so let me just show you how you can do that. So in terms of turning off the select and scroll function, you can go to these three dots over here, and then under more, you can see Apple Pencil, and you want to make sure that your select and scroll feature is turned on. If you want to, you can also turn on double tap to switch, but I find that because sometimes I accidentally double tap my Apple Pencil, so I don't really want to turn on that. Alright. Okay, and in terms of the spelling, if let's say you don't want to check for spelling, you can also use the same three dots, click on it, and then under settings, auto correction, you can turn this off. So you can turn off check spelling. There's also other things that you can turn off. Alright, so you can go ahead and explore more of these features. Okay, so now let's move on to the most exciting part, which is going through the page templates that are available in this planner. Okay, so if let's say I'm showing all of this on an iPad, but if let's say you're on a MacBook, I'll do a separate video for this. Okay, so if let's say you're on the iPad, right, you just have to go to any one of the pages, and then you will click on this brush icon over here. Okay, this brush icon actually stands for it's basically the tab for all of your design styles. So it also includes when you want to change up your text and your pictures, all the different styles and adjustments that you want to make in terms of design will be found here. Okay, and this icon will automatically update its menu based on what is the object that you're selecting. Okay, in this case, because I'm just clicking on one of the pages, right? So what this brush icon shows is the page itself. So the menu options that we have are the page template. We can select this to choose different page templates, or we can change up the background color. Okay, or we can also edit our page template. Okay, so if let's say you click on edit page template, you will be able to edit whatever that you have here, and whatever changes that you make in the page templates will be reflected automatically inside your document itself. So whenever you use that page template again, your new changes will be reflected as well. Alright, so now let's just go through the entire page templates that you'll receive. Firstly, you will get a cover page. So for this cover page, it's pretty standard. You can double tap this, okay, and then you can change up to your name or whatever. You can add in more text if you want. You can add in a picture if you want. Okay, and the second thing that we have here is the About Me page. The About Me page, as you can see here, you can put in your name here, and then these 3 boxes, you can put in some images of yourself. You can fill up this part, 8 facts about me. You can also type up a little paragraph about yourself, and you can of course add in stickers from your files or from your photos. Anything that you would like to add in, you can add in here. You can also add them in the document itself. Okay, and the next thing that you will see is this. Okay, so the next template that you have here is my life values. So this, you will generally get a list of values, and you can just read the instructions to see how you can go about finding the 5 values that are your non-negotiables. So non-negotiables are basically the values that will guide your life in this phase and will help you to make difficult decisions that you encounter in life. Alright, so as long as you stick to these 5 non-negotiables, then it's most likely that you won't regret your decision because you are living in line with your values. Alright, so the next thing that you have here is my goal life planner. Okay, so my life goal planner, I mean. So in here, you will find 6 categories: health, relationships, career, wealth, mental, and spiritual. Okay, and you'll also see like a little chart here. Okay, so basically for this chart, right, you can fill in your goals for each of the different categories as well as the action steps that you can take. And then for each month, you will basically tap on the chart and then you will click on edit data to fill up the different categories, like give a score for the different categories out of 100. And then you will be able to navigate between the different menus for the different months using the arrows over here. Okay, so if let's say I do just one sample, right? Okay, if let's say I key this as 80, 90, 100. Of course, these are just, fictitious number right now. Okay, but you can see how this actually works. Okay, and then you can see how the bar graph actually automatically updates itself with the values that you have keyed in. Okay, so if I just undo everything, then that is done. Okay, so the next thing that you have here is a passwords log. Okay, so here this is where you can track all your passwords, your username, the login method, as well as the password itself. You can also just type in the name of the platform on the left hand side. Okay, and if let's say you need more than this, you can just duplicate the page. Okay, and the next page template that you have is the calendar page. This calendar page is actually an automatic calendar in the sense where you can just change up the year in order to change up the dates. Okay, so if you zoom in, right, if you look at January, February, and March, okay, so January, the 1st starts on a Saturday, February starts on Tuesday, okay, and March starts on Tuesday as well. Okay, if let's say I want to change this for the next year, I can just double tap this. Okay, and if I change it to 2023, okay, you can see that the dates are automatically updated. So now January actually starts on a Sunday. You can't see the number 1. Okay, but for February, it starts on Wednesday. And for March, it starts on Wednesday. Okay. Okay, so for the calendar page, right, you actually have a Monday option as well as a Sunday start option. Okay, so this is the Sunday start option. You can see that it starts on a Sunday instead. Okay, and now let's go through the pages that you will most likely use more often. So the pages that I've shown you just now, they are more of pages that are one-off. That's why I have preloaded them in the document itself. Of course, you can remove them if you like, but if you want to use them as a template, you can also access them using the page templates. Okay, so now let's just go through the other templates that we have. Firstly, we have something that is very simple. This is just a blank page that will help you to act as a divider for your different pages. Okay, so you can just edit this part into whatever text that you want. Okay, and then the next thing that we have here is a monthly planner. This is a Monday start planner. Okay, so if let's say you want to do like instead of a January, you want to do a March, you can just double tap this, key in March, and you can see that the numbers are automatically updated for you. Okay, and you can also change up the year if you want to. Okay, but in this case, I'll just leave it as it is. And you can also fill in your focus and your goals for that month. Okay, so you have a Monday option and you also have a Sunday option. Okay, and the next thing that you'll receive will be this weekly planner. So you can see how all these paper templates, they all have a very nice newspaper style, sort of editorial newspaper. Okay, and basically I really like this kind of style, which is why I've incorporated all of this inside this entire digital planner. Okay, so for the weekly planner, right, you also get a Monday option and a Sunday option. And whenever you want to use one of this, you can just key in your different tasks for the different days, all right? And then you can fill up the month and you can also fill up the date, okay? You can also type in like the notes for that week. Okay, so this also comes in a Sunday start option. Okay, and the next thing that you'll receive will be the daily planner. So for daily planner, there won't be any Monday or Sunday start option because it's just a single day. All right, so for the daily planner, something that's very interesting here is that we have a schedule that you can update based on the start timing and the interval that you like. So let's say I'm not someone who starts my day at 8 a.m. I'm someone who starts at 9 a.m. I can just change this and you can see how my table automatically updates itself. And if let's say I don't want 1 hour, I want it to be like 2 hours, for example. Okay, and you can see the table automatically updates itself. Okay, so this means that you can actually use it for on different days. You can actually use different start timings because our lives don't follow the same schedule every day, right? So we're not going to use the same type of schedule for everyday purpose. Okay, and you can also fill in your different goals for that day itself. You can change up the shape itself. You can also draw in your own one if you like. Type in the temperature for the day, key in your affirmation or your quote for that day. Okay, and the next thing that you'll get is also a meal planner, a self-care section, an exercise routine that you can just key in whatever workout that you want to do. You also have a water tracker over here, okay, that you can just delete the excess, or you can just change them to a different color if that's what you prefer. And you also have a to-do list that you can just double tap to edit the text. Okay, and one more thing that you'll get here is actually this paragraph of text that you can type in. So this could be like a very short reflection that you want to do, or if let's say you don't want it, you can just delete this away and you can add in more rows for your table if that's what you prefer. Okay, so the key thing to this entire digital planner is it is meant to be very customizable for you. So if let's say you're not liking any of these tables, or you're not liking this particular design or the colors, you can just click them and delete them away. Okay, so you can just delete them away and you can replace it with like your sticker or whatever. Okay, it's very customizable so that you can make sure that you document your life in a way that is the most aesthetic to you. Okay, and the next thing that you'll receive is the daily journal. So same thing, this also comes with the day and the date. And then you can put in like an image of what's happening, do like a short journal entry. You can also fill in your reflection at the end of the day, for instance, about your mood level and your stress level, some gratitude for that day that has happened, what is your overall productivity level, and what will you do tomorrow. All right, let's move on. So the next thing that you'll get is my thoughts. Okay, this is basically if let's say you have a very long journal entry or you just have a lot of running thoughts in your head, like I always do, and you want to just lay them all out. Okay, this is where you can use this page. You can also use the daily journal page, but journal page is generally shorter in terms of the text. This is when you really have a lot to say. Okay, and I have left this part blank because you might just want to fill it out with any pictures, or you can just doodle on these areas. It's all up to you. Okay, and you can also type in one statement to describe your mood at the moment when you're writing all this, so that next time when you come back and you look at it, you will know exactly how you're feeling at that moment. Okay, the next thing that you'll get is January memories. So this is what you will fill in at the end of the month. Okay, you can fill in like the 3 different pictures of like your highlights for that month, and then you can key in the date where it happened and a little short description about what has happened. Okay, you can also type in some actions that you want to start doing, stop doing, and continue doing. And one statement to describe the month. Okay, so this chart over here is very interesting. This is actually the same life planner that you have seen earlier. So, previously we have talked about the goal planner, right? So we have split our life into 6 different categories: health, relationships, career, wealth, mental, and spiritual. So you can actually copy paste the numbers that you have put there, and then you can just key them in here as well. And then you can assess your last month score you can assess the difference between your last month and your this month score. Okay, what I like to do for myself is I actually fill up the I'll fill up the daily, monthly pages. Okay, but okay, so what I like to do is that at the end of the month, I usually fill up this memories page first before I go back to my goal planner, and then I key in all the numbers there. Okay, so this actually helps me to see my progress between my last month and my this month, and how am I feeling overall. Okay, and just to show you like a snippet of how it looks like. Okay, so if let's say I'm just filling up this part. Okay, let me just key in some fictitious number. Okay, you can generally see how your life has improved, or just how it has changed in the different areas. Okay, and then once you click done, okay, so this gray one actually represents last month, and then the darker gray actually represents this month. Okay, so you can see how your life has improved in certain areas, and how it has needs a bit more work in the future months. Okay, so I just found this very interesting, and I think that it will be a very good way for you to document your life. Okay, and you can also type in your achievements that you have accomplished for that month, as well as type in any lessons that you have learned this month. Okay, so overall, this is just a page full of your memories and a reflection page. Okay, the next page that you will get is actually a health tracker. Okay, so this health tracker, I've actually come up with 4 charts in order to track your health for that month. The first one is the number of hours that you have slept. Second one is your physical comfort level. Third one is your mood, as well as the last one is your stress level. Okay, so each of these charts are actually slightly different. So, okay, if let's say I just show you a sample. Okay, let me just show you something that I've done this month. So I've only been recording myself for the past few days, right? Okay, so you can see that for my April 2022, my sleep has been roughly about 8 to 9 hours on average. Physical comfort, I can see how it changes. My mood, there has been ups and downs. And then for my stress level, I can also see the relationship between all of this. So I know whether my mood is affected because of how stressed I'm feeling, or do I need to work on having more sleep? Do I need to go out and exercise more? Or do I need to, find new ways to battle my levels of stress? Okay, it helps me to become more aware of my emotions and my stress levels during that period of time. Okay, so once you fill all this out, you can see the different correlations between your health tracker. Okay, and that's what I really liked about it. Okay, so of course you can just change this up, change up your January 2022, change it up to something else. Okay, and then that will be all. Okay, the next thing that you'll see is a period tracker. So this period tracker also consists of different tables. The first thing is this is a table where it shows the 1st to the 31st number of days, and then you can just click in each of the cells to change up the color. Okay, so for each of the different colors, you can change up what does the color key mean. You can also put in symbols that represent certain things, like maybe you have experienced cramps, maybe you had a very bad mood or whatever. So you can indicate the different things that you experience in terms of a different legend. Alright, and then when your cycle has ended, you can also fill in this table to write down your cycle length in terms of the number of days. Okay, and any additional notes that you might want to have. Okay, the next part, this is a very interesting one. Okay, so this is a finances tracker page, and basically I have split it up into income, expense, savings, as well as funds, and a notes section, of course. Okay, so for the income section, you can actually fill in, for each of the category, you can fill in your goal as well as your actual. So for your goal, it's more of like your budget lah. Okay, I just wanted to call it a goal because, you know, it feels like you're working towards something, and then when you accomplish it, you will feel very accomplished. Alright, so I call it a goal, but actually it's just budgeting. So you can fill in the different categories that you have, and then you type in the numbers. Okay, the cool thing about all this is that the cells are actually have a conditional highlighting rule. So if let's say for income, right, your actual is less than your goal. Okay, so for example, I'm earning 800. Okay, budget is 800, but in actual fact I only earn 700. You can see how your actual for your salary, this number is actually highlighted in red. Okay, so all the numbers that are highlighted in red means that you need to pay special attention to them, because, you know, these could be numbers that are slowly decreasing but you're not really noticing on the grand scheme of things. Okay, so it's the same for all the other cells. Okay, so for income, if let's say actual is lower than goal, it will be highlighted in red. But for expenses, if let's say the actual is higher than the goal that you set, then it will be highlighted in red. Okay, savings and funds, if let's say your actual is lower than your goal, then it will be highlighted in red. Alright, and the cool thing I'm sure you have seen is how, you know, the numbers will automatically tally up at the end of the last row. Okay, so you don't really have to do any sort of manual calculations. You can just key in, you know, your actual expense. Maybe you have a banking app that you track all your expenses, so you can just key in those numbers all here, and then you can just see how this automatically builds up. Okay, so for those notes, like, you know, for this note section, right, I actually think of it as a good place for you to write down, you know, if let's say the numbers are highlighted in red, you can write down some notes about what is happening so that you can understand the reason why is the number dropping, instead of just leaving it as it is, and what can you do further to make it to achieve your goal the next month. Okay, alright, the next template that I would like to share with you is the cleaning tracker. So for cleaning tasks, I split them into daily, weekly, and monthly. So for each of this table, it represents one type of task, and you can just check off the dates as you go. You can either choose to color the cells, you can also use your pen to add drawing and then just cross it off. It's completely up to you. Okay, so the next thing is a travel planner. Travel planner, I kept it really simple. You can key in the country name that you're going, and then you can key in your flying off details and your coming home details. Then, of course, you can fill up your schedule, and you can key in your accommodation and the places that you're sightseeing during this entire period. Okay, and we also have a packing list. So these are all the things that you'll need to bring. Okay, and I also included this last minute packing, you know, for things like that you take only on the actual day itself, you know, maybe like your facial foam, your contact lens solution, etc. Okay, so you have all this covered in this travel planner. Okay, and the next thing that you'll get is my top 10 experiences. This is really just a memory sake sort of template for you to key in, you know, the 10 experiences that you have really experienced that are really your life's highlights. Okay, and you can, of course, you can change this. Instead of typing out about your experiences, you can change this to my top 10 songs, my top 10 artists, my top 10 movies, anything that you would like to. Okay, you don't have to stick to my top 10 experiences. Just make this into you, you know, whatever that you like the most, just change it to your preference. Okay, the next thing that we have here is a bucket list. Okay, this is just a very simple bucket list. Okay, and you can just type in all of the bucket lists that you like to do in your life. Okay, and then, or for this year only, up to you. Okay, so you can key in for your life or for this year. You can add in more boxes if you like to. And if let's say you want to add in pictures, you can also add in pictures. Okay, so once you're done with a bucket list, then you can just strike out the text to make sure that it shows that you are done with that bucket list. Okay, and this is a very interesting template. So this is actually, it looks like a photo gallery, right? Okay, so I've actually made this into a photo gallery sort of for your watch list. So, you know, on days when you don't have anything to watch, you can refer back to this list to see what are the things that you can watch. Okay, and along the way, if let's say your friends and family recommends you anything to watch, you can just go and search for the movie or the series poster, and then you just drag that image to fill up any one of this. Okay, the next thing over here, this is a movie review. Okay, so you can key in the title of your movie, the cast names, the synopsis, okay, fill in the details, and then here is where you can key in your review. Okay, and you can also type in the genre, what is your rating, and who would you recommend this movie to. Okay, and the last part over here is where you can actually put in the images of your favorite scenes. You can either type them out, or you can, drag in an image from the actual scene and then paste it. Drag it into the box to paste it over here. Okay, and similarly, we also have one for the series. So recently, I actually did one for the Snowpiercer series. So let me just show you that. Okay, so you can see this is how it does look after you have filled it up. Okay, so I've kept this to a very minimal and just look like newspaper kind of aesthetic, and I like how I can just include my favorite character, my favorite episodes, my favorite quotes. I can also put in the images of the most exciting moments that happened during the series. Okay, and I can of course type in my review of the entire series. Okay, let's go back to this. Okay, the next thing that you will see is the books to read. Okay, so for books to read, same thing, you can just fill up all of this. And then if let's say you run out of spaces, you can just, duplicate this page template for you to use again. Okay, and then we now have a bookshelf. This is actually a tracker for the books that you have read. So I like the idea of, after you have read it, then you will put it back nicely on the bookshelf, right? So this is why I wanted to use the bookshelf concept. Okay, and you can just double click to type in the title of the text of the book that you have read. Okay, or you can also add in images of the books that you have read. Okay, and definitely we need to have a book review. So for the book review, okay, you can key in the title, you can key in the author's name, a book summary. Okay, this is like a reading log for your book, so you can key in the date as well as the number of pages or which page to which page have you read for that day. You can also type in your genre, your rating, and your finish date. And this is where you'll key in your actual book review. Okay, if let's say you want to, you can also add in your favorite quotes from the book. Okay, the next thing that we have here is a very simple brain dump. Okay, so this consists of 4 categories, and I make them in different sizes. So because I think that usually the ones with the big ones are the ones that you will most likely emphasize on. So I really wanted this to have different layouts. Okay, and the next spread is a currently spread. So you can key in, what are you currently eating and drinking, what are you currently watching, listening, learning, reading, and your favorite quote. Okay, and the next 2 pages, this is a very simple 15-day spread. So you can actually just drag in your stickers or you can just drag in pictures to fill up each of the boxes. You can use this as like a daily planner as well if that's what you like, or you can just use this as like a memory book for you to drag in each a photo each day kind of thing. Okay, this is another spread for the 15-day. Okay, and this next part, this is a very interesting spread. So this is actually a photo grid that's made out of individual small boxes. So what I envision is for you to just take this as creative as you like. This is like making pixel art. Okay, so each of these little squares, they're just pixels, and you can just change them to whatever that you like. You can drag in images to fill in each box so that you can form like a coherent picture. Like maybe you can form the letter F and then you drag in all of your family members inside the picture. That would be so cool. Okay, and the next thing, and the last thing over here is the fun facts template. So I wanted it to have, just a little bit of different shape, which is why I included the circles. And, for this, I was kind of thinking like, for myself, I actually learned a lot of cool little fun facts that I want to remember, like new things that I learned that are very interesting. Okay, like small little things like just maybe the reason why the sky is blue, or like the reason why hamsters can't live together, or just anything, or the reason why babies are cute. Yeah, so all of that I'd like to document inside fun facts, and at the end of the year then I'll have like a collation of all the fun facts that I've gathered this year. Okay, I just thought that was super cool. Okay, so this is the end of all of the page templates. Okay, so this is the actual document itself. I have actually preloaded some of the pages, as you can see here. But of course, if let's say you want to change them, right, you can just go to that page and then go to this brush icon and change up the page template to whichever that you like. Okay, so you can see that it has the thumbnail itself and it also has the title. So it's very easy for you to find the one that you are looking for. And if let's say there are certain templates that you use more often, right, you can go back to the page templates to edit it, and then you can drag them out to like the top area, so it's easier for you to access. Okay, so moving on, let's talk about navigation. For this entire digital planner, right, it doesn't contain any sort of hyperlinks like the other sort of planners. Alright, so but of course, if let's say you want to, you can include them. So which is why I've kind of made this, the black bar as well, because I think that if let's say there are certain pages where you always want to access to another page, like maybe you want for that month you want your dailies to always access your monthly planner page. So you can just click on this, and then you can add a link, and then once you add a link you can just change to page, and then you can link it to, okay, let's say I want it to link to my about me page. Okay, I can always make sure that it always goes there. Okay, so if you set a link, you can see this icon over here and you can just access it by clicking it. Okay, but for now I'll just remove it. Okay, so you might be asking me, so if it doesn't have any hyperlinks, how am I going to navigate throughout this entire document, right? As the thing gets longer and longer. Okay, so the main thing that you can do is that for the monthly and weekly and daily pages, they will all be accessible using the table of contents. Okay, so you can see how my goals planner actually appears. My passwords also appear here, and for each of the month you will see like the custom monthly section. Okay, and this will bring you to the monthly section, and if you want to get to the monthly planner, you just have to scroll to the next page. Okay, for the passwords, you can just click on it and it goes to the passwords page itself. Same thing for the goals planner. Okay, and then for the weekly and the daily pages, I have made all of this into special paragraph styles, so that when you just click on, if let's say you just change this date to the dates of the week, right, then you will be able to access it within the table of contents. Okay, so this is very good because I think that you're not going to use the same type of planner every day. Okay, some days you can only afford to do like a weekly planner, some days you can afford to do like a full daily planner, which is why I don't really want to help you do the entire hyperlinking, because I don't want it to be like just full of wasted pages. Okay, but you can add them in. Okay, and if let's say a lot of you are requesting for that, I can also make something that entails the hyperlinks. Okay, you can just let me know. Okay, so same thing for the daily page, right? If you click on 1st Jan 2022, okay, you can see how it directly leads you to the daily page for that date. Okay, so every time when you add in a new page, okay, so let's just try. Okay, so for example, now is I want to plan for tomorrow, which is 8th of April. Okay, what I have to do is I just need to click on plus, and then I can find my daily planner page, which is this. Then I just need to change this up to April. Okay, let's just do 1st of April. Okay, but because I want my January and my other months to be separated, right? So I also need to add in a custom section. Okay, and this one I can call it April 2022. Okay, and then once this is done, you can see how in the table of contents, you now have another slot. It's called April 2022 because this is for the custom section. And if you just click on the date itself, it will lead you to that. Okay, so the next thing that I'd like to show you is how you can start to fill up your different pages. Okay, so if let's say you have any text boxes, right, or you have any just plain boxes over here, and you want to fill that whole box with an image, you can just find whatever image, be it from your website, or if let's say it's on your gallery or in your files, and then you can just drag the image into the page. Then you will see how the image is currently filled, and you can change up the size, or you can start to shift around the image, okay, so that you can fit it perfectly. Okay, once it's done, you can click on done, okay, and you will see how it has fitted inside the box itself. Okay, and moving on to like the paragraphs, right? If let's say you want to change up this entire paragraph, okay, I have three paragraphs here, but if let's say I want to type out the first paragraph, I can triple tap on it and then it will select the whole paragraph, okay, and then I can start typing. If let's say I just double tap, okay, it will just select the word itself, okay. So this actually means that you can just change up the whole paragraph text very quickly, and you'll be able to type this out in no time, okay. You can just, if let's say you want to select the entire thing, really just triple tap the whole thing and then drag this to the end of the paragraph, okay, and then you can click on edit, and that's when you can start typing. Okay, so of course you can change up the colors and other interesting features. So let's say we have this, what's happening here, we can't really see it, right? So maybe you want it to be of another color. You can go to the text settings. Okay, you can see for text you have three different tabs. One is style. Okay, this is where you can do your filling, the border, adding a shadow, reflection, opacity of the text, and the title and caption. Okay, when it comes to the actual text and you want to change the color and the paragraph styles, this is where you can do it. So you can change up the paragraph style here. You can also change the font, whether you want to strike through. There's also additional menu. Okay, you can also change up the size. In this case, I want to change up the color. Okay, so if I just change it to something like this. Okay, I can also make it left, center, right, or justified, and I can make it whether it's aligned to the topper, the top, the middle, or the bottom. Okay, if I want, I can also add in bullets and list, and I can add in indentation. I can also change up the line spacing and the number of columns in one of the text box. Okay, and of course, I can add my drop cap. Okay, and the last tab is the arrange segment. So this is where you can choose whether you want to shift this object that you have selected, whether you want to move it to the back or the front. Okay, you can arrange it, and you can also change the size and the position very specifically. Okay, if let's say you want it to stay in a certain shape, you can click on constrain proportions, and if let's say you want to rotate the thing, this is where you will do it. Okay, so you'll rotate, and you can just rotate this whenever, however you like. Okay, then another thing that you have is also, okay, actually you can just key in the number itself as well. Okay, so the another thing that you can do is you can flip horizontally or vertically. You can also lock this object, and you can also do text wrapping. Okay, now let's talk about some of the helpful features that are inside this Pages app. The first thing that you'll be able to do inside your iPad, right, will be you can go to these three dots over here, and then under more you can see this find button. Okay, so if let's say your table of contents has way too many things and you just want to quickly access it, okay, this is where you can search. Okay, let's say you want to access your passwords. Okay, you can search for password. Okay, and it will automatically lead you to this page. So you don't even have to scroll through your table of contents in order to get to this page. Okay, and the next feature will be that if let's say you have this document contains sensitive information, you can actually choose to lock up your document. So you can, same thing, go to these three dots and then you can click on set password. Okay, so this is where you can type in a password, you can verify, you can also give yourself a hint in case you forget, and you can also choose whether you want to open this document with Face ID or not. Okay, and the last thing is once you are done with the whole year and you are ready to print out this beauty, or you just want to export it somewhere else, keep it somewhere else, that you want to view it on a place without the whole Apple Pages interface, you can choose to export the whole document as a PDF. Okay, so you can export it as a PDF, as a Word, as an EPUB, RTF, or a Pages template. Okay, and so that is all for this entire Pages series, and I hope you like the planner. Okay, if let's say there's any questions that you have, you can leave them in the comments below. I understand that the biggest frustration for this Apple's Pages app is that you're not able to import your current PDFs into this planner, into this app. Okay, that's a little frustrating, but okay, I do hope that you guys can try out this new interface and this new app, because I really think that it has a lot to offer. Okay, so there are also additional features that you can do if let's say you have a MacBook, such as you will be able to select and copy more than one data cell at a time, so it's easier for you to copy and paste. Okay, you can also reduce your entire file size if let's say you always import a lot of large images and videos into this document. So on your MacBook, you can also choose to reduce the file size. Okay, if let's say you have your MacBook, right, you can also draw out your own shapes. Okay, so for under the iPad, right, you're not really able to draw your own shapes. What you can do is just insert a table, you can insert graphs, okay, you can insert shapes and text, of course. Okay, so you can insert different shapes, but if let's say you want to draw up your own shape, you can do that using your MacBook. Okay, and of course you can also import any photo or video camera, you can record any audio, you can also put in a web video. This means that it won't take up space here, which is very good. And you can also have an image gallery, or you can insert any other thing into this place. Okay, if let's say you want to do any writing, okay, you can go to this drawing tab and then you just click on it. This will bring up the Scribbles portion. Okay, so this is very famous Apple Scribbles. Okay, if let's say you want it to directly convert to text, you can use the first pen over here. But if let's say you want to keep your handwriting as it is, then you can use this to draw. Okay, and then you also have a pencil, a crayon. This is something for you to create shapes. So you can just draw any shapes and then you will fill it up with the color that you choose. Okay, you can also erase anything. And then this is your lasso tool. So if let's say you had drawn something here, okay, you can use your lasso tool. Okay, and then you can choose whether you want to resize. Okay, or if let's say you want to delete them, you can also delete them using this lasso tool. And the last thing that you have is the highlighter. Okay, so the highlighter really looks like a highlighter. Okay, and that's all for the Apple Scribbles tool. Okay, and okay, one last thing will be that, okay, for if let's say you have MacBook, right, then you will be able to do more advanced text options. So for instance, like if let's say you have certain text like this where you have the spacing in between the different letters, on your MacBook you can adjust like the amount of spacing that you like. Currently they didn't bring that over to the iPad, but hopefully in the future they will. Okay, so I've actually set up all of the different spacings as required, but if let's say you don't like any of them, you can change them inside your MacBook, or you can just let me know, and if I can, I will just send you an updated version of that. Okay, so that's all for this entire planner. So if let's say you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll see you the next time. Bye bye.